I represent the Toronto Family Network. We are all families who have a family member with additional needs and requirements. The one area that has been omitted tonight from this discussion and is extremely important is the area of recreational opportunities and programs that are provided by the city. There is more than enough research that indicates that the provision of these opportunities and programs allows for better mental health, physical development, educational outcomes, etc. And yet the costs are such that most families are incapable of accessing this very important opportunity. What will you do as mayor to assist families to be included in these opportunities and programs?
Thank you, ma'am. George Smitherman, you get the first answer.
Well, I did mention earlier that I believe strenuously that providing more of the City of Toronto resource and delivering it through community-based organizations is the way to go. I've seen value with that in my previous life. And I've also said that in this campaign I want to lead a recreation renaissance in Toronto. And I want to bring $15 million of new resource to the table. I will commit to make sure that those organizations, best equipped and working with individuals at the community level, are given an opportunity to receive funding so that a program that works, that is specifically designed and delivered well for people with a variety of disabilities can be not just envisioned but realized.
Sarah Thomson.
I well agree with Mr. Smitherman. I believe community-based organizations must be put into play here. But we have to enable them. The red tape, if you go to a committee meeting on a park, for example, and on how that park will be used, often you find that you're listening. They're not listening to you. So we have to open up the doors. We have to get rid of the red tape, allow these community organizations to do the work they want to do, and help fund them as well. So it's about listening and changing the culture at City Hall. I really believe we have to get to that step first. It's a broader picture we have to look at. And once we do that, and we can change to the point of having the bureaucracy say, what do you want done, rather than this is what we're going to do, which they often do. We have to change that culture. And once we can change that, the culture of telling you what you want, to listening to you and asking what you want. Once we change that culture, then we can move forward, and the funding will be there because we can open up connections with the nonprofit organizations and community organizations.
Giorgio Mammoliti.
Again, my platform talks directly about recreation in the city and getting to the needs of everyone in the community. We're not equipped at the City of Toronto in our Parks and Recreation Department to deal with a family that has a member that suffers from schizophrenia. Our staff aren't equipped to be able to deal with that. Service providers in communities are. And so part of my particular platform talks about taking existing resources that we currently spend in our recreational services and redeploying them. Yes, it means layoffs. It means we're going to have to get rid of some employees. But the reality is, it's networks that can provide these kinds of services better than the City of Toronto can ever do. Whether it's with the disabled community, or whether it's mentorship programs. Service providers can do a better job than our recreational staff can in many, many ways. That doesn't mean that we can't continue some of those programs.
Thank you, Mr. Mammoliti.
I just think we need to use our partners.
Thank you. Joe Pantalone, your turn.
Well, it was an excellent question and statement in terms of a society having to look after everybody's society. We have 3 orders of government in Canada because there is a recognition that we do in different things. And the provincial federal government get their revenues based on how well people do in society. Corporation taxes, sales taxes, income taxes. The city gets 38% of our revenues from property taxes, which is twice what it should be. We're involved in social redistribution issues, and we're glad to do it because we think we need to do something. But really, it's the provincial and federal government responsibility to do that. And therefore, what we must do is insist, as Torontonians, that since we pay them taxes, remember the 92% goes to them, but they have an obligation to redistribute, to every Torontonian and every Canadian, so they have a good quality of life. That is a right. It's not happening now. And as mayor,
thank you, Mr. Pantalone. Rocco Rossi.
Not only do we need to do a better job with our not-for-profit partners, but we actually need the facilities and ability to have recreational opportunities. And one of the huge missed opportunities in the city is that the city's Parks and Rec really doesn't talk to the Toronto District School Board. So we have enormous assets in two different places, and each side is planning as if the universe is only encompassed within their silo. If we don't get beyond that, because as taxpayers, we funded it all, right? It's not a separate reality. That's all, those are all our assets. And if we can't plan with all of our assets in mind, we'll never have enough recreational opportunities for the larger community, for the disabled community, for everyone, quite frankly.